The mountain air was crisp, almost biting, as the three of us started our hike. It was supposed to be a simple night trek, a way to escape the city lights and see a meteor shower. My friends, Liam and Chloe, were ahead of me, their laughter echoing through the dense woods. I remember thinking how perfect it was, just us and the vast, starry sky. That feeling didn't last long. About an hour in, the trail grew narrow and unfamiliar. The trees seemed to lean in closer, their branches like skeletal fingers clawing at the darkness. The familiar sounds of crickets and rustling leaves were replaced by an unnerving silence. It was a heavy, suffocating kind of quiet, the kind that makes the hairs on your arms stand up. Liam, ever the brave one, joked about it. "Guess the forest critters are asleep," he said, his voice a little too loud. Chloe just shivered and pulled her jacket tighter. I tried to check our location on my phone, but there was no signal. "Dead zone," I announced, trying to keep my voice steady. We were on our own. That's when we heard the first sound. It was a faint whisper, carried on the wind. We couldn't make out any words. It was just a sibilant hiss that seemed to come from all directions at once. We stopped dead in our tracks, our headlamps cutting frantic circles in the darkness. "Did you guys hear that?" Chloe whispered, her eyes wide. Liam and I nodded, our earlier bravado completely gone. We told ourselves it was just the wind, but we all knew it wasn't. We started walking faster, our footsteps crunching loudly on the dry leaves. The whispers grew more frequent, sometimes sounding like a child's giggle, other times like a pained cry. We tried to ignore them, focusing on the cone of light from our headlamps, but the darkness at the edge of the beams felt alive, teeming with unseen things. Then, Liam's light flickered and died. He fumbled with it, smacking the side, but it was useless. Now we were down to 2 lights, and the shadows seemed to double in size. We huddled closer together, our pace now a near jog. The path ahead twisted sharply, and, as we rounded the bend, we all froze. Standing in the middle of the trail, just at the edge of our light, was a figure. It was tall and impossibly thin, its limbs long and jointed at odd angles. It was completely still, its head tilted as if listening. It had no face that we could see, just a smooth, pale expanse of skin where features should have been. A choked gasp escaped Chloe's lips. The sound seemed to break the spell. The figure's head snapped towards us. It didn't have eyes, but we felt its gaze, cold and ancient. Then it moved. It didn't walk or run. It unfolded, its limbs contorting as it scuttled towards us with an unnatural, spider-like gait. We didn't scream. We didn't have time. A primal fear took over, and we just turned and ran. We sprinted back the way we came, not daring to look back. We could hear it behind us, a dry, scraping sound as its limbs dragged on the ground. The whispers were all around us now, loud and frantic, screaming in a language we didn't understand. Chloe's headlamp was the next to go, its light sputtering out, leaving just my single beam to pierce the oppressive dark. We were running blind, stumbling over roots and rocks. I could hear Chloe's panicked sobs and Liam's ragged breaths right behind me. The scraping sound was getting closer. I risked a glance over my shoulder. The figure was gaining on us, its form a distorted silhouette against the faint moonlight filtering through the canopy. It was impossibly fast. Suddenly, Liam screamed. I turned to see him on the ground, his leg tangled in a thick root. The figure was on him in an instant. I saw its long, thin arm reach out. I grabbed Chloe's hand and pulled. "We have to go," I yelled, my voice cracking with terror. Liam's screams were cut short, replaced by a sickening crunching sound that will haunt my nightmares forever. We didn't stop. We couldn't. We just ran, fueled by pure adrenaline and terror. The whispers followed us, mocking us, calling our names. My own light began to flicker, the battery dying. Each flicker plunged us into absolute blackness, disorienting us, making us feel like the forest itself was trying to swallow us whole. The path seemed to stretch on forever. My lungs burned, my legs felt like lead, but the thought of what happened to Liam, of that thing catching us, kept me moving. Chloe was stumbling beside me, her hand gripping mine like a lifeline. The woods were a blur of shadows and fleeting light. Then, through the trees, I saw it. A faint, orange glow. The main road. Hope surged through me, a desperate, powerful wave. "There," I gasped, pointing with a shaking hand. We pushed ourselves harder, breaking through the final line of trees and tumbling onto the cold, hard asphalt of the road. We collapsed, gasping for air, our bodies trembling uncontrollably. The sounds of the forest were gone. The whispers had stopped. Behind us, the woods stood silent and menacing, a wall of impenetrable darkness. We didn't see the figure again. We just lay there on the road, crying until the first car came along and its headlights washed over us. We told the police we got lost, that Liam fell down a ravine. What else could we say? Who would believe us? They searched for days, but never found him. Not a trace. Sometimes, late at night, when the wind blows just right, I think I can hear it. That faint, sibilant whisper. It's a constant reminder of that night, of the thing in the woods, and of the friend we left behind. We went looking for stars, but we found something else entirely. Something ancient and hungry, waiting in the dark. And I know, deep in my soul, that it's still out there, waiting. Thanks for listening, and please, be careful where you wander after dark.